Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Ty Lamb, and I am one of our collective impact coordinators here at United Way of Weld County. And today I am joined by Megan Rhodes at Greeley Family House. Megan, thank you so much for having us here today.
Well, no, thank you.
And could you just share a little bit about who you are and what you do here at Greeley Family House?
Sure. I'm Megan Rhodes with Greeley Family House, and I'm the program manager currently right now. And we provide temporary housing to families that are experiencing any kind of housing instability.
For the people in the audience that may not be familiar with what you guys do here, do you mind just kind of telling us about the organization's mission and what you guys provide?
Sure, yes. So we are a shelter, so providing that temporary housing to families that are experiencing either homelessness or just housing instability. So they don't necessarily have to be homelessness to come into our program, but we can safely house 12 families at a
Wow.
time here at our shelter. We provide supportive services to them while they're here. Their stay is anywhere from 30 to 90 days typically.
30 days is not just enough to get everything. Some places require that first and last month rent, security deposit, and
Yeah.
everything.
So we actually used to be 30 to 60 days, and we have found a need that, unfortunately, with the rising cost, that yes, families need a little bit more time to save. So our goal is within that 30 to 45 days with our program that they find employment or have the opportunity to increase their income. And so then we do that financial education piece, work with them on a budget, and set up a savings goal so that we can work towards security deposit and rent, because that is one thing that has also reduced funding in
Mhm.
regards to rental assistance.
Yeah, it's really about finding that stability.
Yes. Yeah, we're focusing on long term stability. And so we want to set them up with tools so that they can continue after this program and
Yeah.
that they can stay stable, they can stay housed.
So we're here today just to talk and have everyone get to know Greeley Family House a little bit more. But one thing that has really brought us together is collective impact.
Yes,
And one thing that, you're applying with the Collective Impact Fund right now, but you're also currently funded from our old Collective Impact Fund.
true.
Do you mind just sharing a little bit about what you're getting funding for from United Way of Weld County?
Yeah, so currently, right now, we're getting funding for specifically our shelter program and the supportive services that we're providing.
Yeah, and with that grant, um, how are you able to kind of, strengthen it or maybe provide additional resources that you may not have had before? And what is the main meat of the service that,
Sure. So, just in general, collective impact, I feel like is that bringing the community
Mhm.
together, bringing our partnerships together. And with that opportunity, especially as program manager in the past year, that's really what I've been trying to build up is our relationships in the community and that importance of working together. Um, in the past, a lot of us, I think the word always comes out that we're siloed.
Mhm.
We need the community to work together in order to provide that stability for our families. And so that's also provided us the opportunity to do the community outreach, to work with those other partners, and to be able to utilize, some of that funding to be able to add more staffing and to be able to do that kind of work.
For you at home or however you're watching this video, if you haven't had the chance to meet Megan, she really is amazing and she's everywhere all at once. You're at the link some days, you're here, you're at a community event, and you're always a really big partner of collective impact. And that's something I've always really appreciated in the work that you do because you're always busy and you
Yeah.
find the time to be able to be present in it.
Well, and I think I said this to you, gosh, what, like about a month ago, that I feel the collective impact more this
Mhm.
past year, having Ty on board, but also with Ernest. And, that I feel like there's just been a lot more emphasis. Yeah, collective impact has been around for a while and we've been benefiting from this grant. But at the same token, I feel like for some reason, I feel like this year has been like a boost in that community involvement, that community connection, and a lot more partners partnering together
Yeah.
and really working to maybe solve this kind of our housing problem.
Yeah, and thank you so much. We've talked a little bit about previously about like who comes in and accesses the Greeley Family House, but would you mind sharing about who you typically do see coming in through your doors here, and
Mhm.
if you want, maybe some of the challenges that they kind of typically face?
Yeah, so I think there is definitely a difference with the Greeley Family House, and I'm not saying that we don't serve all homelessness population, but our focus is on families, and
Hmm.
so often the people that are coming into the program are the ones that just got that eviction notice, have gone to court, gotten that date, and now they have nowhere to go. Maybe they were living with family and that relationship is broken down and they are looking for another opportunity, but again, haven't been able to save enough or been able to look for employment, et cetera, in order to get into housing on their own. So they need that little step up to come in here with our program to be able to build that up. Um, but also, too, childcare, employment struggles, just loss of job and not being able to regain employment again, and just, again, nowhere to go. So we just provide that safe place and that support for them to be able to hopefully kind of give them the tools and that safe zone without having the expenses
Hmm.
to be able to really focus on those other goals like employment and financial saving. And that's one thing that we really try to in the community, at least, to let people know that we are more of a home. We are not kind of that typical shelter that I think a lot of people visualize.
Hmm.
Going in and they're given a cot to stay in for the night. This is a place where they have their own bedroom and bathroom, and they do have a communal area to be able to cook their own meals and relax with their kids, etc. But it's a little different. So we try to make it as comfortable and as homey as possible, so that they feel comfortable staying and being successful with the
Hmm.
program.
I just feel like when in here, the main goal is to make sure the family unit does feel connected to each other throughout this. Really, it's a tough process that it's
It,
really hard to understand when you're a little kid, you know?
It is, yeah. So the environment itself makes it more comfortable, so that they can focus on something else. Like now they have a roof over their head. Now they
Hmm.
have a safe place to go every night. Kids can focus on going to school. We partner with the school district, and the bus pulls right up in front of the
Wow.
shelter to be able to take kids to school. So, there's a sense of normalcy, I
Hmm.
guess, that it provides. Yes, this is an ideal spot for anybody. I mean, no one ever wants to be in this position, but we try to make it as safe and comfortable so that they can go to their next step in their life.
Is there any like family or anyone that comes in your mind when you think about success within the Greeley Family House?
Right after the holiday, I got a text message from someone who had experienced about 7 years
Wow.
of in and out of homelessness. Really hadn't had stability for that 7 years. Um, and unfortunately, within that time frame, she lost a family member and was forced to raise her two grandkids.
Wow.
And so, with that, again, already not being stable and then being forced with like a major, like full life change,
Yeah.
where do you go? And we actually had partnered with the school district, and that's actually how I met this family, because they had been working with her for probably about a year, and just no success on housing. And we were, in a sense, the last resort. And we weren't sure either how successful this was going to be. I mean, 7 years with instability is a long time. It's hard. Those barriers
Hmm.
that we mentioned earlier, much more greater,
Yeah.
right? And so we brought her in, and we were actually able to place her in a program that we have partnered with the school district, and we're able to provide rental assistance for her for a year. And during that time, we worked on getting her signed up for those wait lists
Mhm.
with housing here because no matter what, it was going to have to be low income. And we
Yeah.
all know that the wait lists are high.
Hmm.
And we lucked out.
Wow.
After a year with us, actually probably a little bit like a year and a half because she was here
Yeah.
at the shelter, and then a year with our other program. And she is living in her own apartment, paying her own rent. And she goes, for the first time, I have stability.
Wow. But to know that you've made such an impact on somebody's life, not just a person's life, but a family's life,
Yes.
her
Yeah.
grandchildren, and just to be able to know that the work that is being done is, we all know is important, but it's just thinking about, okay, from the different lens outside of an organization, how important it
Yes.
was.
Yeah. And we do, we do make an impact. And I think that's what keeps us going every day.
Yeah.
Um, and unfortunately, if we didn't have those impacts or success stories, not all of us would make it on our day to day,
Mhm.
and coming back every day. But,
Yeah.
and I love, I still actually even, I don't know. I get quite a few text messages on a regular basis, pictures of kids, get graduation invitations just recently, and so we do try to stay connected
Yeah.
as much as possible. But not everyone, of course, wants to stay connected. But we do
Yeah.
have a lot of families that stay connected, and some families even want to give back and come back and pay it forward.
And with that, kind of comes to like our last question, but there's never enough time, resources, help. But if people want to get engaged with the amazing work that you and everyone here at the Greeley Family House does, how can they do that, or what do you guys need help with?
Well, I mean, I hate to beat the broken record, probably that all of us probably keep saying is money.
That's important.
Always looking for financial assistance. But I think more than anything, I think I've said this before, where it's education of the community. We need people to go out and advocate. We need
Mhm.
people to understand the work that we're doing and why it's important, because not everyone can donate their money,
Mhm.
but they could also speak out,
Yeah.
and I think that's even more important. We do have several events throughout the year that we would love people to come in and attend. We don't necessarily do a lot of volunteer opportunities just for the privacy of our families. But occasionally we have outdoor projects or indoor projects that we are always looking for volunteers for. But mainly it's just getting to know us, know our program,
Mhm.
and see how you can help internally. And I love meeting with people in the community,
Me too.
which you know.
Yeah.
Love meeting with community. So I love giving tours, having people come and just check us out, see why we're different, and get to know our program, so that yes, if they choose to donate, if they choose to donate their time or just be able to share what we do out in their community, great.
And if they want to do that, what's the best way to? I know you guys are very busy, but what's the best way for them to kind of get that information? Is it the website or?
Yeah, so you can definitely take a look at the website. You can fill out a contact form through our website, or you can just simply email us at info@greeleyfamilyhouse.org.
Great. Megan, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to sit here and be able to educate more people about the great work that you guys do. Thank you again for, always being at the table and always being someone that I can call. Like I'm a caller, like I'll call Megan, like, hey Megan, like here's the question I have, or, what can we do to like support each other? And thank you so much for just being a great advocate for collective impact.
No, I really appreciate that. And you brought up a really good point that I tell everyone, that we are on the other line.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless if it's a single or a family, we are here to help and provide resources. So we'd like to know that we are the people that people call and trust,
Yeah.
because we're going to be able to give a response. And that's what we're here for. So even if you're not interested in the program, we're here to be able to provide those resources out into the community.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Megan. I appreciate you, and thank you everyone for taking the time to get to hear from Megan and learn a little bit more about Greeley Family House. Really, do yourself a favor and just go on the website, learn a little bit more. And if you want to be a part of the collective impact work that we're doing to bring together community partners to help solve the bigger issue at scale and just be able to know more about each other, please feel free to visit our website at unitedway-weld.org. Megan, thank you so much. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.